Hi, this is Jennifer from blazingwonders.com and welcome to this video showing how to install the Aluminess Nerf Bars. If you recall from our earlier videos, we also installed the Aluminess rear ladder and tire mount combo, and so now we are going to install the Nerf Bar on our Ford Transit van. You will see here that we have both the driver's side bar, which is only one step up for the door, and the passenger side, which has both the step up for the passenger side door as well as the slider door. You can also see attachment points here for the back, and then they also have flanges here that bolt up underneath the van using the existing threaded studs. Underneath the van, you will see 3 sets of studs, and in the Nerf bar mount, a series of oblong holes that will slide over these studs. In our van, the front set of studs were heavily covered with overspray, and so we had to use a wire brush to clean this set of studs, but the back 2 sets were already clean and ready to go. Here we have used the wire brush to get most of the undercoating off of the 2 front studs. Beneath these studs, you will also see pre-cut holes in the van, but as was the case in our 2021 Transit van, these were not threaded. So here Ryan used an 8mm by 1¼ pitch tap, and while using a crescent wrench, he was very carefully able to set the tap, being sure to keep the tap perpendicular to the holes and to not go in at an angle. When you do thread the hole, you can thread up, and then as you're cutting the threads back the tap out, if you start to see some of the metal shavings, and so that the shavings can fall out. Once the thread is cut, you should now be able to screw the tap in and out. And as a reminder, when you install your Nerf bar, it is important to use anti-seize, particularly when attaching stainless steel to sheet metal, so that you don't get galling over time. As you can see here, Ryan did finish tapping the 6 holes on the passenger side and was able to install the Nerf bar. When he tightened the bolts, he did start with this last bracket because there was the least amount of overspray on the van, and this helped to pull the Nerf bar further into the van body. This also helps prevent putting any cross torque on those bolts underneath, which could possibly strip out the threads that you just spent the time cutting into the van body. The final step is to add the last 2 screws on the back of the Nerf bar towards the back of the van using self-tapping screws. In this case, even with the self-tapping screw, Ryan drilled a pilot hole to help guide the screw in more easily. Finally, one additional thing that you do need to pay attention to is the gap spacing from front to back, and you want to make sure that your bar is level. On the driver's side, there is only 1 set of studs towards the front. You will have to use screws that are provided to screw into the sheet metal to be able to install the Nerf bar on this side. Also, Ryan used a bottle jack to help prop up the bar so that he could get the right angle that he wanted, because he was having a hard time getting the bar level and keeping it level so that he could screw it into the metal on the back side. He first installed 1 screw to hold it in place, and then while doing so, he was able to check the gap distance in both the back and the front. Here he has roughly centered the bar relative to the bottom trim and measured it to be about 2¼ inches from the trim, and also made sure that it was lined up on both ends and level before he put the screws in. While this installation did take a little bit longer than expected, overall we think it turned out really great, and we are very happy to have this step up to get in and out of the van now.